It's time to lay you down to sleep. I pray the Lord your soul to keep.
Margel the Sophant. Margel is my given birth name. It's the name I was given shortly after I was born in Haiti. The Sophant is a name that I've given myself very recently, I suppose in the last year. And it is kind of a self-prophecy for myself. It's a Sophant, or the Sophant, is a sentient being that practices sophistry, right? Communicates creatively. And for me, my creativity is manifested in my art, which is music, writing it, playing it, teaching it. And so I want to be able to use music to effectively communicate what my purpose is, you know what I mean? Like getting together, helping people, mastering this craft, making things better. My daughter, that's kind of a mixture with my family, right? So my daughter and my family pushed me to keep doing this. Next is kind of like other older mentors that I've had in my life. I've had a lot of very positive people that kind of continue to push me in a direction. Obviously, the biggest of those being my parents, who got me piano lessons at a very young age and encouraged me and let me know that I was talented, and were glowing in their praise of the things that I did right, and made sure they stuck to me on the things that they knew I could improve upon in music. My sister, who is also a musician, she's a singer, and she never deviated from that path. So, like having that background of people that, when I knew that I was good at music, and they were like, "You were good at music," you know what I mean? Having that idea of having that self-identity, I think, is an extremely important part of my growing up. And I saw around me a lot of other teenagers who didn't have an idea of something that they were like really great at, and a lot of people that kind of pushed them and say, "This is who you are. You are a musician. You are an artist. You are a piano player. You are intelligent. You can succeed in this. This is what you can do with this. You can play on these stages. You can make this sort of legacy for yourself." Having that moved me past a lot of the trials that I saw a lot of people that came along at the same time as me get stuck at. So my family being second. Third is a lot of the influences that I listened to over the years. So my father was big into soul music growing up, and Al Green, and just a bunch of cats like that. Like hearing those chords, even at a young age when I didn't understand it at all, but I understood the feeling, was super, super important to me. Gospel music growing up and still super, super important to me, just kind of that feeling. You know what I mean? And as a young person, there's very, very few things that gave me that feeling like listening to live music did. As I was older, a lot of piano players, Oscar Peterson, Herbie Hancock, Chick Corea, Michelle Camillo. This is just a host of people that I'm like, seeing other people master something, Bobby McFerrin. I was like, okay, so how do I get that good at this thing? The core of Sëla is three people. It's myself, it is David Little, who that's his MC producer name, and it's Mike King, also his MC producer name. I myself, obviously, am a producer, singer, piano player. David Little is a producer and rapper and poet, and also a teaching artist as well. Mike King, teaching artist, poet, and amazing poet, rapper, actor. We all met in school at the University of the Arts, studying the things that we're doing now. The co-production is an exhibition series for producers, and I mean producers in a loose sense of people that make music, not necessarily just hip-hop beat makers and stuff, but people that compose, session players, different people that are involved in the process of how records, of how shows, of how artists are made. You know what I mean? I want to bring them all together in that one space. So Sëla uses its platform online and in that monthly series to kind of just shout out people to show shine, to get some shine for like the different artists that we know and artists that we don't know, you know what I mean? Like I'm always online and like everybody looking for new music, looking for different things to kind of learn. And it'd be great if, besides the online aspect of that, because it's not real life, to have that be a thing where we're sitting in front of each other, we're asking each other questions, and we're enjoying each other's thing. I don't like too much competition, and I feel like a lot of the music scene has kind of warped into this thing where everybody is like, I must be better than this next guy, or I am better than this next guy over here. You ain't messing with me and my skills as an MC or as a producer or as a musician. But you know, like the basics of music is like playing together. You know what I mean? So that's the idea for the co-production. It's like getting people together, and it's not about competition. It's more about like appreciating the individual's art form and style.
Think positive. It'll work out. Think positive.
At this current moment, it is somewhat of a struggle, and so I have to give it a number, a 6, I guess, a 6 or so. And that's a very debatable thing. It's kind of a difficult question to answer because when I first came to Philly, it was like the most amazing thing to me. Like I came along and I was still able to visit spots like the 5 spot, and I wasn't 21 at the time, so I was just coming in behind somebody who did me a solid and let me sit in the back without ordering any drinks and stuff. But being able to sit in spots like the 5 spot and Larry Gold's during their open days and open parties and open jam sessions, Elena Souls, just like a series of really great musician and producer like meetup hubs at the time. There's not a lot of those from what, from me coming into Philly, there's not a lot of those like that I experienced now. A lot of those places, those venues have shut down or burned down or closed, whatever. A lot of the big studios closed down, or if they're still in existence, are more kind of closed, you know what I mean? They don't allow as many of the public to come in and network and stuff. So in that way, I have to kind of take some numbers away from what it used to be for me. Other people might have different experiences. But as far as the talent in Philadelphia, it's just so many super amazingly talented music makers and art makers in general, painters, whatever, poets. Those scenes, I feel like, just as far as like the content and the people that are doing their thing here, I have to give it a 10. There's people that want to create, that want to make things, and they want to do it like, under their own rules, under their own name, not trying to make things that fit other people's styles or what they think that you should be. I think that the world would be a lot better place if we understand the importance of individuality within the collective. So I want to continue to encourage people to continue making and creating, and know that there are people that appreciate that sort of thing. It may take a little bit longer than if like people have that thing where they, as soon as a popular song comes out, they gotta rap over it, you know what I mean? No grease to that sort of hustle, but making sure that you find your own path and continue developing your own particular style. I want to encourage people that are doing that or going in that direction, you know what I mean? Contact me, find people like that, find like-minded people who can encourage you in those paths, you know what I mean? It makes the whole journey so much more fun and worth it.
Slip, slip, slipping. Oh.